Here are my results in the way of read and write speed using the Blackmagic Speed Test app. This is optimized for testing video files, which is primarily what I will be using it for. Your results may vary, but this should provide a decent benchmark for the device. Today I'm going to check out another product from Olala. This is the same company that sent me this external storage drive for my iPhone. I have to say this is one of the few accessories that I still use almost daily. Whenever I run out of space on my phone, I plug this in and I can offload whatever's on here without having to plug it into iTunes. So this thing actually comes in really great, which is one of the reasons that I said yes when they asked me if I wanted to check out this fingerprint encryption USB. If you're a subscriber, you already know how I feel about using fingerprint scanners and Touch ID. For everyone else, let's just say I have reservations about storing biometric information on a device that connects to the internet. If someone figures out your password, you can change it. Fingerprints don't work the same way, and I don't have any trouble using a passcode. The reason I said yes to this is because it actually stores your fingerprint on the drive, and it is encrypted, and it does not connect to some server where they collect your information on the other end, and then when they get hacked, everybody finds out what that is. So in any case, I digress. What this does is gives you 256 gigabytes of storage that you can unlock at the touch of a fingerprint scanner, I guess is the way to say it. So let's go ahead and open this up and check it out. It looks fairly straightforward. Outside of the package, of course, which are always difficult to open up. This is USB 3.0, retractable design, a metal casing, which is cool, and made of high-end material. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Sensitive fingerprint recognizing board, we shall see. I am probably missing something very obvious here, but this does not want to retract. It does have there's an opening here, so if you have a lanyard, you can attach that, which is kind of useful. Boy, that really sticks when you open it. I might have opened it a bit too far. So you have to kind of put some pressure down on this. It opens very easily, but when you go to close it, you really have to kind of put some pressure down here to get it to slide back the other way. So maybe that will get easier with time. I'm not sure. All right, so let's get this thing set up. What we have to do first is obviously just push this forward. And when we connect it, I'm going to be using USB 2.0 for the moment because it's going to be very awkward for me to plug this into the front of my desktop, which is what I have this installed on. So as soon as we plug this in, we will get three dialogues that pop up here on the window. No, just two. And one is going to be the setup for the fingerprint scanner. The other is going to be a partition on this drive that's already available. So if we open this up, we can see that I've already stored something in here, and you can use that as a standard USB. And if we look at properties right now, I've got 173 gigabytes free on that one. Now what we'll do instead, however, is go ahead and get the security feature of this flash drive installed by clicking on the blue icon. And what that's going to do is give us the welcome screen, choose your language, click OK, and then from here it asks you to create a master password. So in case for some reason you can't get in through the fingerprint scanner, you'll still have access to your files. So I'm going to type in password, Password, because it's so easy to remember and it's very secure. No, I'm just kidding. I'll obviously go back and change that at some point. So let's click next. And now we're going to do the fingerprint setup just like we would on a phone for the most part. So I'm just going to put my finger on the scanner. You do just want to kind of pay attention to exactly where you put it because you do have to match it up pretty close when you go on there later. So it's going to take several times to just kind of look at different areas on your finger, and they suggest that you kind of put it on at different angles so this thing can get a good read from several different directions. That way when it goes to let you in, it has an easy time figuring out what your fingerprint is. Okay, so that has been added to unlock the USB. And from here what we'll do is if you look down here on the bottom left hand corner, it says zone locked. If I click on this, it now says zone unlock, and shortly after that it will detect the secured partition on this flash drive. So if we look at this dialog now, we've got SIA as opposed to the one that was here previously, which was PIA. So this is going to be the publicly accessible partition, and this is going to be the secured partition, which you can see I've currently allocated 60 gigabytes worth of storage to, but we can actually go ahead and change that if we want to. So from here, if you go to setup and click partition, and it's going to ask you for confirmation one more time. So I'm going to get approved there, and then there's a sliding little toggle here where you can decide what percentage of the drive that you want to have encrypted. And I had it set to, I don't know what it was earlier, whatever I just said, but we can pretty much make the entire thing public or the entire thing secured. So I'm going to go like right in the middle here, and we'll click OK. And while this is partitioning, obviously you don't want to pull the drive out from your USB port. It'll take not too long, really. It was pretty fast as far as setting up the partition goes. All right, so once you've got it partitioned, they do want you to remove the drive and plug it back in. I'm not sure if safe eject is required, but I'm going to go ahead and do that anyways. So I'll go over here and hit, oh, you can't. So it looks like that is already taken care of. So don't worry about safe eject at this point. Just go ahead and pull this out, and you can see it disappear from the screen. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in, and this thing likes to snap back on me. I noticed that when I pull it out of the drive, it kind of goes back inside of here. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that, but that's what this one has been doing. So go ahead and insert that again, and then you'll notice that this little light here is probably annoying. Probably should cover that up. All right, so on the screen we've got the publicly accessible part of the drive, but we can ignore that, and if we want to click on our computer, we'll see once again that we have something that says CD drive, and that is basically what you need to open up here where it says U Pro in order to get the prompt for your fingerprint so that you can access your encrypted files. So we are back here on the welcome screen, and it's going to immediately ask for a fingerprint. So I'll go ahead and put my finger on here. And when I do, another thing I wanted to point out is if you notice, currently when it says zone locked, everything looks the same on the USB drive as it did out of the package. But when you click on this button and switch it to zone unlock, when it accesses the secured part of the disk, it will light up right here, and hopefully that's easy enough to see. I don't know if I've got too much contrast or not enough here. So again, if I click on zone lock or switch it over to zone lock, you'll notice that that light goes off, and that shows that now we're just accessing the publicly shared part of this drive. So you have both options there. You can use secured or unsecured, and you can partition whatever percentage of the USB that you want to have for either purpose. And when we switch over to unlock, it will then show the SIA, which once again is going to be the secured area or secured partition on that drive. So public and secured, and then of course if we want to click back on lock, it will disappear, and then you won't even be able to see that SIA part of the USB anymore. If you found the video helpful, like it, share it, check out my channel for more tutorials and product reviews, and most of all, remember to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section, and thanks for watching.